for joining me for Kasia's Voice. Today with me, I have Mark Nocera. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Kasia. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Just in my
Awesome.
stay-at-home quarantine, but I'm fine.
That's it. So Mark lives in Boston. We know each other for, oh my God, many years now, right? It's almost,
Yeah.
we have not competed at the same time. So we have not, you probably seen me competing, but I have not seen you competing. So I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about your competitive career for all of us to know. But right now, I'm sure you know Mark from running the competitions. He has two competitions, one in Boston, one in Boca. And I would love for you to talk to us about it. Now he's also the Vida examiner. So you guys see him everywhere. They're running the competition. Also, he judges everywhere. He's been to my competition many times. So, you know, you probably are very familiar with his face. And now I would like him to share a little bit of his story so we know a little bit more personal stuff about him. So the voice is yours. Go.
Okay. So briefly, because we don't want to spend too much, I don't want to bore you too much. Yes, I competed pro from around 1981 to 1994. I did Latin first, and then we started to do the ballroom. We did 10 dance. And I would say, just to rush to the final achievements, we represented the U.S. at the Worlds as the #2 couple. And I made the semifinals in the Worlds. So that we'll cap it at that. With long career, lots of ups and downs, but that's sort of where it went.
Kind of where, yeah, so pretty successful. And you, the other day, you actually shared with me phenomenal pictures. I mean, you are in good shape now, but you were hot. You and your wife were wicked. That was awesome. Very nice.
All I know is I weighed 135 pounds, if you call that hot. But yes.
I mean, you know, that's the thing. We are so tiny when we compete, and we get so used to, right? Yeah. And sometimes as we get older and as we start looking like normal human beings, we're like, no, we got to go back to our competitive weight. And that's just crazy. You can't do this.
No, that will never happen. No, that will never happen.
Yeah, that's very.
It took a lot of rehearsing, a lot of practicing, and teaching and practicing, and not stopping once at all to get myself. I mean, I wasn't on a diet or anything. I ate as much as I could, but I just couldn't gain weight in those days, you know?
Correct. And so tell me, did you already have, when you're competing, you start running your studio while competing, or did you start running your studio afterwards?
Yeah, I started competing in 1981. I worked for someone else then. And then in 82, I was teaching independently.
Okay.
From 82 to 84. And I opened the studio in 84. So yeah, I was running the school, teaching, doing programs, and dancing pro all at the same time.
Wow. So, I mean, that's incredible. That's something, you know, sometimes people ask us, is it possible? It is possible to do all these things, but you have to make sure that you're pretty intense. And we're really good friends. This man have tons of energy. You know, his mind goes everywhere. He can organize all kinds of stuff, and he always have really good people helping him out. So if you would like to,
I didn't have a lot of people helping me out then. And I remember I used to always say that there was running the school and teaching, doing the lessons and dancing pro. And I could only do 2 of those successfully at the same time. And they would alternate. Like if the school was organized, things were going great, and the teaching was up, then the pro dancing was on the down. And if the pro stuff was going, we were winning, we rehearsed, and the teaching's going, then the school would be completely disorganized. And so on. Those 3 things, but only two of them could be successful at the same time. It's too hard to do all 3 really at a high level.
Because then the energy got too spread, huh?
Yeah, too much. Yeah.
Yes.
Although at one point when we really went for it, once we were doing 10 dance, and especially when I started ballroom and I really wanted to go to the top teachers right away, I remember we sold. I mean, I've always been a little obsessive with the things I'm trying to achieve. So we sold all our stuff, and we lived in my partner's basement, parents' basement, and we would go to England for a month, and then we'd come home and teach for a month, and we'd go to England for a month, and come home and teach for a month. And I did that for more than 2 years. That was crazy schedule. But anyway, that to me is what I attribute to our success for the dancing. We just really went for it at that point, you know.
Correct. Well, I love that you said that, because it's almost, I always tell people, you almost have to be obsessed, and that's exactly what you did. You sacrificed. You give
Not even almost.
other luxuries to do your competition. And when the couple
Right.
ask me as I'm coaching, what is it going to take? What can I do? I'm like, if you want to win, want to be in that final, if you want to be really successful, this have to be your life. This has to be the only thing you want. So you don't you don't even think you're sacrificing anything because you want the thing so much that living with someone else, your parents or your friends, it's not a big deal. You don't even think that it's painful. You go, this is what I'm doing because I want something else so much more. So I thank you for sharing that, because I think that's
whatever you can do. I mean, if you look at when you watch the Olympics and you watch those kids and they're just really committed and they talk about they don't get to do these certain things with their friends, like all their friends do. I mean, that's what we do. We're doing it for years and years. I mean, they did that for solid 15 years of just focused on dancing.
Right.
I remember I like sports, and I remember Larry Bird played for the Celtics in the early years when I was competing. And I remember once I started to get a little bit more of a normal life, try to get some balance, then I started watching the Celtics, and I realized that Larry Bird had been playing for the Celtics in Boston, and I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, yes.
Because I was just so focused on dancing. I wasn't really watching the games and things on Sunday. I was just practicing and focusing on that,
Well, and I think that's so great, because that's what set the champions, the elite group, away from the rest, right? Because of course you can have everything, and if someone just want to enjoy it for fun and just enjoy the journey, that's great. But if you want to accomplish something, you cannot have too many things going at the same time. And lots of time I think our students or people that we work with, they look at our life now and go, oh my God, this is so great. I want this and this. And you have a house, you have the car, you're traveling, you're doing all these things. Yeah, we do this now. But when we were competing, we were doing nothing.
Right.
I did not have so many dresses. I did not have so many pair of shoes. I was not interested in going to the beach. My friends used to laugh at me that once a year, they have to drag me to the beach to show me that there is still water. It's still wet. It's fun, right? Because I live in California.
Sure.
I've never seen those things. I was only interested in being at the studio. So that's fabulous. All right. So give me
your friends and family will never understand. I remember I don't know about you, maybe your family did, because your brother danced as well. But
yes,
for me, if it was Christmas, I would think of that as an opportunity to get some extra practice and whatnot to teach. So I'd always show up late for Christmas, and then all my brothers and sisters want to know, why we're late. So, oh yeah, we had to practice, and they roll their eyes like, oh my God, seriously?
Right.
But that's what it took. You just have to be over the top,
Exactly. With my friends at some point, because it's so true what you said, that your friends don't understand. I remember they were going somewhere, and I said, unfortunately, I cannot go. I have to practice. And it's gonna feel fun. It sounds funny, but they were serious. They're like, you do not remember your steps by now? You practice all the time.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Who are you? And I'm like, no, it's not that I don't remember my steps. I want my steps to look better than everybody else in the
they don't understand you. And you try to develop more power, more speed, and more connection.
Absolutely.
You know what? High maintenance, Bowen's high maintenance with the two people. It's not about remembering some steps. I mean, it's just they'll never understand that.
Right. It's so difficult to wrap your head around it if you have not done it. So you know what I'm hearing, and I believe all of us who've been in your position, my position, our colleagues, right, who've been so committed and now are moving on, or have done other projects, like you ran 2 competitions, right? You're now the examiner, you're judging, your commitment. Like I've been to both of your events, and they're fabulous. They're so well put together, right? They're so thought. Everything is in the right place. Because again, that obsession that we had as a competitors, that obsession that we had to be the best carries on.
We become obsessed about everything.
Oh my God. My friend would say, the champion quality follows you wherever you go. So
yeah, and that's true for you too, as well, of course. Your competition and everything you do,
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your Eastern competition in Boca, where they are, and because they have 2 completely different themes, and I think that would be so great for people to know.
Oh yeah, well the Eastern, of course, the Eastern United States Championships. That's the one in Boston in February, and we say come for the title. Dance for the title, come for the fun. That's our little slogan. Right?
That's awesome.
So we try to be a serious comp, but I never want to be too. We don't want an atmosphere that's too stuffy either,
Mm-hmm.
So we try to make it a fun experience, even though people are going for that
You
title.
always did. I mean, I've been to your event quite a few times, and yes, it's intense because you have fabulous dancers coming to compete, but the atmosphere, it's very like there's a big camaraderie and everybody's supporting. You have lots of college kids, which bring the excitement, which is fabulous.
Yeah, this year especially, college we had a lot of college kids attending, and in fact, one of the things I've been doing in the quarantine, couple of jobs I have, but we ran out of awards. And I think the reason for when we got to the youth, because they were the last event, but I think it's because a lot of the collegiate dancers took all the awards that we were usually giving to the youth. So my guy Max Greenhouse, he's my comp coordinator extraordinaire. He's my help, and so we've been trying to put together all these little envelopes of certificates and awards and things to give out to the kids who were a little bit disappointed didn't get all the awards they should have gotten, But anyway, that's from a good thing, because we had so much college participation.
That's a great problem to have when you're running out of stuff versus, oh my God, we have so much left. Yeah, so that's incredible.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then of course there's Boca. That's the one coming in August.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll be all out and about by then. We'll have to see. Same for you. Your comes the week before mine, right?
Right. So, I mean, we just have to, like, quite a few people ask me. And right now we are go. We're definitely not canceling. We're hoping that all of this is going to come down and we're going to be able to travel and do, our things. And so hopefully it's going to be really good because we will give people the possibility of get out and do the thing that we love to do, right? Because we're stuck in houses not being.
Same for me. You don't want to over prepare because you don't want to prep with all the medals and all the things that are costly, and then find out it's canceled. But I'm doing whatever I can do to prepare, so at least we're in position. If it's a go, let's go.
Right. Yes, it's Boca Raton, Florida. It's a fabulous location. It's always so much fun. It feels like you're at the competition and vacationing at the same time.
This is the fun comp. That's right. We have the after party in that lobby. We get the live band and everything.
Exactly. The live band, it's incredible. Yes.
And then the goal is to try to keep up with you because you just keep dancing for the whole night. Keep saying, come on, let's do salsa. Come on, let's do salsa. Come on, let's do another one. I'm like, Kasia, you're younger than me. I'm trying my best.
You're one of those few people that can keep up. So I can take advantage of that.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, always a good time.
Yes. So then right now, your latest thing, you don't have a studio, you have the competitions, you are judging, and now you're also doing the Vita examinations, right?
Yeah. Well, I had a studio for 33 years, right? So yes, I'm that old. And so I just decided that it was time I wanted to do something different.
Right.
And so I want to just try being on my own. So yeah, I'm traveling more, I'm coaching, and I'm prepping for exams. In fact, during quarantine, I'm prepping my partner Jelena because she was, a national champion in Serbia.
Right.
And she was a judge in Serbia, and she was on Dancing with the Stars in Serbia as well. And so, but now she needs to take the exam to judge here.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So at least with the quarantine, it's giving us more time to sort of work on that. Through Javita,
You're not only examining, you can actually prepare someone for the exam as well.
Yeah, the only rule is you can't prepare someone and then also give them the exam. So you have to decide which one. So with Jelena, it's so convenient to do the prep stuff, and then someone else will give her the test.
Got it. So if someone wants to be examined, they can contact you just for examining, or if they live close by and they want to use your expertise to get ready and then find another examiner, that's a possibility as well.
Yeah, that's right. At the moment, just before quarantine, there was a couple of studios that I was training a couple of members of the staff, the owners and the staff to get to be certified. Right. And then some of them also for the judging certificate. So we just got started on a couple of those, and then of course Wayne Ng, he's CEO of DaVita. He's got a great program for student achievement awards. He's started really promoting. I think it's a great idea. So we've been doing some Zoom meetings with Wayne to sort of prep for that for when this is all over. And so when you go to the schools and you train the staff, you can also, there's a lot of students who maybe don't want to compete, but they want to get some kind of recognition and some
Yes,
kind of goal setting, you know.
I
And
think
this achievement program is perfect for that.
so. That's
So I
fine.
think that's going to be a big hit when
Right,
start,
right.
working through that as I'm going to the schools moving forward, you know.
Okay, that's awesome. And right now, even though we cannot be next to one another, if someone would like to train, I think that would be a great opportunity to even do Zoom meetings with you, right? Because could you
Yeah, why not? I think you should be able to do that
right,
training easy. Yeah.
explain a lot of things, because then during the exam, they're not going to dance with you. They're not going to be, you know, hands-on. They would actually have to explain. So it is kind of like learning how to be very deliberate on how you're explaining, how do you show. So I think that would be a great way of actually getting ready.
Yeah, totally. I think so. I think, you know, there's the performance part of the testing, but there's also the, you know, the verbal part and the question and answer. So,
Correct.
so you can certainly do that over Zoom, right?
Right. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. All right. So now, since we know who you are and what it is that you do, just don't give us address, because we might come and hunt you.
Okay.
The thing that I'm excited about, that we're friends. We've known each other for so many years as colleagues, as, you know, we run the events, we do all these business things, but we end up spending quite a bit of time as friends. Like you visit,
Right.
spend time in Boston together, right? You visit my friend, you came over with Elena to my house in San Diego, and I really love spending time with you guys.
Oh, we had a blast. Yeah, that was great.
So one of the things that I would love for you to share with all of us, including me, because I've been privileged to taste your secret smoothie, that it's incredible. I would like you to share it with all of us, what it is that you do, and maybe tell us a little bit, you know, because I know that you've been so healthy for quite a long time, right? I remember going to your school and you actually making the smoothie for me. And that was years back when you still had the school, right?
Yeah, everybody knows me as the smoothie guy. I remember when Ricardo and Yulia did a show for us at Easter, when they arrived in the hotel, we were just in the process of giving some smoothies out at the comp, because that's what we do. We go around the ballroom and we give people some protein smoothies to kind of keep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I handed him a smoothie. I think he was blown away. And even when he was doing the show, he announced, you know, Mark is a good host. And oh my God, he gave me a smoothie as I arrived to the hotel. I think he thought it was nuts at first, but then later he asked me for another one. So I think maybe it wasn't, they always think it's crazy at first. In fact, that reminds me that when I used to go to England, you know, I guess I've always been a little bit crazy. I just never quite realized it. But I had a juicer. It was a heavy juicer, like 30 pounds. And in those days, you could take anything you wanted on the plane. So I would take my juicer to England so I could juice. Well, I was there for the month, right?
Correct.
And I remember the dancers thought I was absolutely out of my mind, which I'm not denying. But in a short time, every morning there'd be like a little line for the house of dancers that I stayed with, that they all wanted some carrot juice.
See?
So they always think you're crazy at first, but then they join on once they see it.
But that's so true. That's anything in life. That first people kind of laugh at you. I remember, and I probably should not admit to this, right? I'm not such an outdoorsy person, but I like to do fun stuff. So my Polish community over Thanksgiving would always go to spend Thanksgiving on the beach in Mexico. So a few times I went with them, and of course I have a nice tent and a bunch of pillows and trying to be as comfortable as possible. And what do I bring? I bring like a brush and a sweeper, right, to get rid of the sand in my tent. And of course, first everybody's like, "Oh, you are such a French poodle."
Oh yeah.
Right?
Chrissy.
Yeah, but guess what? Every day there was someone in my tent asking me to give it to them because there is so much sand in their tent and they would like to get rid of it. I'm like, you know what? I should have charged you or make you apologize every time you come and ask me for that.
I think you should at least have demanded the apology before you let them use the sweeper.
Oh, totally. Or the same mirror. Oh, you're going to have a mirror, and then every morning, oh, can I use your mirror? Yeah, so I think that's just life. People first make fun of you, and then they're almost becoming your best friend trying to use the stuff that you have. So that's
that you were so crazy to bring in the first place, right?
That. All right. So
you want to know the secret recipes. Is that what you're telling me?
Secret recipe. That's right.
All right. So we'll do it because I knew you were going to ask me that.
I know, because I've harassed you for a while.
If you look behind me.
Yes.
You can see that I prepped a little bit already.
Awesome.
So I'll show you what I do.
Okay.
I usually do carrot, apple, kale, beet, ginger. That's my drink.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but today we're doing something slightly different because I saw this spinach on sale.
Okay.
Super cheap sale, so I bought a few bags of spinach. So I'm going to use up the spinach before we go back to using the kale. Spinach tastes better anyway.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
So first of all, when you're juicing the carrots, I always scrape. I already did it, but I always use the scraper to get the sort of the dirt off of the carrots, right?
Got it.
And then the other stuff, the apples, I just cut them. I have beets, I just cut them. So cut them so they'll fit in the juicer.
Yes.
Apple.
Mm-hmm. And beets supposed to be so good. The beets supposed to be so good.
Beets are the best thing for you.
Oh,
yeah, no question about it.
Like apparently all the athletes are right now drinking the beet juice. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's right. Beet juice is in, but I've been doing beet juice for a really long time.
Right.
But I don't like just the beets. I like a little of everything. You get sort of variety of vitamins and nutrients, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Then there's kale. I hate kale. Well, first of all, you should know I don't like to eat vegetables at all. So this is how I get my vegetables. So it's become a health nut in one way, but I would never eat kale.
Right.
So
it's
and then I could have the kale or the spinach just to get some greens in there too, you know?
Correct.
And then ginger,
Mm-hmm.
you know, ginger is good for your gut, but ginger also makes it taste. To me, I like the taste of ginger as well.
Right.
Okay, so we move this over to the juicer.
Just to interact a little bit with you, you know, ginger is actually antibacterial and antiviral. So it's actually very good, especially right now with this whole craziness, you know, with the virus. Ginger is actually a fabulous thing to put in because it fights all these things that we do not want in the body. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. It's great. It's really great for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we go. We've got our Brayville juicer. Probably get that online. It's the one they use in Whole Foods. Giuseppe.
I see. And you have your assistant with you, huh?
I've got two little buddies. Here's Giuseppe.
Nice.
He's barking because he needs some attention. And there's Mouse. We're watching Mouse for someone else.
Yes, awesome.
Every time you hear anything outside, they go kind of crazy.
Yes, it is.
Right, so where were we? I was saying I have a Brayville juicer.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind you use at Whole Foods, only I have a small one.
Okay.
So here we go. Turn it on.
Yep. Put stuff in.
Carrot.
Nice.
Beets.
It's incredible how throughout this whole quarantine, we are actually getting so much healthier. We're all trying really cool stuff.
Whatever you're saying, I can't hear you. So we'll just wait 1 second.
Sure. Yes, I've been asking Mark to share that recipe with us for a while because he actually makes it taste really, really good. And kind of like he was saying, a lot of us do not like vegetables. We like the fruit, but not so much the vegetables. But putting the vegetables in allowed actually the sugar level to be significantly lower. Because if you have too much fruits, my parents actually have done that. You will definitely see this in your cheeks, and you know the sugar will definitely go up. So that's
if you do too much juice, you can absolutely gain weight from the juice. There's no question about it. I think the thing that I like is the amount of vegetable I'm using and fruit.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't possibly eat that much.
Oh, totally.
So for nutrients, vitamins, and all that, you're getting way more than you could possibly eat.
Correct.
The only thing you're not getting is fiber.
Mm.
But just make sure you get fiber and other things.
Exactly. I mean, you can probably put like some kind of powder if you want to, or have it any other way. Yes.
Well, just with something else. I don't need to have fiber in everything I'm eating. So
totally.
I'm not getting the fiber. I'm getting everything else. All the other benefits times 10 because I could never eat this much. Right?
That's my goodness. Yes.
So I put a couple more things in quick. Ginger.
Yes.
There you go.
Fabulous. Oh, that's awesome.
So there's the juice.
Yes, look at this. Mm. I wish I could.
What I normally do, which I won't bore you with now, but so that I waste less of it.
Yes.
The pulp that comes out is wet. So to not waste, I take the pulp, I put it in another container, and then I can put the pulp through as well. second time.
Oh, wow. Oh, I did not know that. That's great.
And if I do that, instead of having this much pulp, it'll come down like that. Sometimes even do it twice, it can get down to really quite a little bit. So you're really getting most of it, most of what you bought out of it.
Correct. That's great.
From that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Wow.
so there's one.
Uh-huh.
And so now you want to know how I do the smoothie.
Oh, totally. Exactly. Because see, that's the thing I was going to say. That's a juice. Okay. Now you're just juicing, which is great. But I was introduced to a smoothie, not to a juice. Which juice is great on its own as well.
Yeah, let's try that. Yep. It's really good.
Awesome.
Now the juice and the smoothie both.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit like my grandmother.
Okay.
My
Well,
Italian grandmother. She was the best cook ever.
awesome.
As she got older,
Uh-huh.
my mother and my aunts, they decided what a great idea they had. They're going to try to find out how she's cooking, get the recipes.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried it, but my grandmother would tell them, okay, so you're taking like this, and you put a little of this, and you put a little of this,
Yes.
and to make it different every time, but it still comes out perfect.
Right.
And I never thought about it, so I'm thinking about doing this, that I'm very much the same way. I just put some of the same ingredients, but I never measure.
Correct.
And so it comes out just a little bit different every time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I do is I get my blender
Uh-huh.
and I do a banana. Usually one, but of course if the banana is going bad, then I'll do two.
Perfect.
Then I already cut those, but I put some strawberries.
Uh-huh.
And how about some pineapples? How many? I don't know. I feel like 4.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, but tomorrow I might feel like 6.
Yeah, Polish people cook the same way. I mean, we kind of start with the recipe, but then it's kind of, even when you cook something, you open the fridge, you see what's available, and then you come up with a dish based on what's in your fridge, right? So sometimes it's hard to explain to people what exactly is happening.
Yeah. Just whatever's available. Even the fruits. Sometimes it's blueberries, sometimes it's strawberries, sometimes I had some Shakeology. I don't know if you know Shakeology, but I bought a bunch of Shakeologies, and then there's chocolate. The chocolate doesn't really go with the other stuff, so then I bought some chocolate almond milk to try to make a different flavor, you know?
Yes.
So you using what you've got, right?
Right.
So 1 spoon of peanut butter.
Okay.
And there's been a new change. You said I was a health nut before, but I'm on another level now.
Okay, let's see.
I watched the documentary, The Game Changers.
Right.
Anybody who hasn't seen The Game Changers, you need to see it.
Totally.
Both if you're a dancer and you're an athlete, but also for just regular life.
Right.
And so it promotes being plant-based, which I've decided to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of yogurt, I'm using coconut milk yogurt alternative.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that.
No more animal fats.
Right.
I'm trying that. If you watch the movie, you'll see. But the documentary kind of talks about meat, like what tobacco used to be, promoting that it's men eat meat and all that stuff. But they're basically talking about how animals are the middleman from the plants. So you think that you get your protein from the meat, but where do you think the animals get the protein from? They get it from what they eat. So we should just prevent that. Go right to the plants, right?
Correct.
They even have Arnold Schwarzenegger on there saying that feels like he was duped.
Yes, so true. Right,
because he said, "Oh, men, you can't get strong unless you eat meat." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And he's also plant-based now, and I think people are discovering that that's a good way to go for your health.
It's very healthy. Exactly. That's it. Because I think
Okay, so we've got protein powder.
Okay.
Which I do sort of half protein powder, and then I do half this other Vega. It's let's read that. 4 grams of fiber, 50% of the vitamins you need, some greens, 20% protein, vitamins A and C,
All right.
2
So
billion,
a lot of
2 billion
a lot of
probiotics,
stuff.
probiotics,
Wow.
140
Yeah,
calories, blah, blah, blah.
the probiotics are really good for your gut. I mean, that's one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
things they said, that a lot of diseases that we're catching, it's because our gut is not strong enough, right? That everything is
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
fabulous to put there.
So I mix that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I do almond milk.
Okay.
So, and I used to do juice, but then I realized that there's less calories if I do
Right.
almond milk instead.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want it to taste a little nicer,
Yes.
not that it's not going to taste good, but I put some pineapple coconut juice in,
Wow.
just for a little flavor,
Like a splash. Yes.
just a little
Now,
bit.
this is a treat. Totally, you will never be able to eat all of this together on its own.
You know what? Just so you know, I normally don't do both in the same day.
Okay.
Making an exception so I can show you. So that's why I didn't make too much juice, and I won't waste that. So I'll drink it during the day both. But
Yes.
I've got help. Yelena will have some too.
Right.
Anyway, so let's give that a quick shot. So I won't be able to hear you for 1 second.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's fabulous. And thank you so much for sharing this. So you can have a shot of your juice, and then you can have a smoothie, which is going to have a little bit more of a texture. And I'm sure you can.
I usually alternate.
Yes.
You know, one day juice, 1 day smoothie, 1 day juice, 1 day smoothie.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You know, with the juice, I feel like it's like a nice little shot. With the smoothie, it feels like you're eating a little bit more, right? So you can put even ice cubes in there, or like you were putting the yogurt, or something substituting the yogurt. So it's a little bit thicker, right? So it feels like it's a little bit more like a meal versus just a quick little shot. So I think that's awesome. And also with the butter, it kind of gives you a little bit more of a enriched taste. Wow.
The juice takes longer. So the juice, well, with a normal working day, the juice I would make when I don't teach till later. If I would teach till 1 o'clock or something, then I have time to make the juice. The smoothie, if I'm teaching a lot of lessons, like a solid 12 lesson day, I can make the smoothie, and then I don't need to stop to eat.
Exactly.
The smoothie's got enough stuff in it. It's like a meal. So I'll just make sure I have a good breakfast, and then I'll just, between lessons, when I'm hungry, I just have a glass of smoothie and keep going. Yeah, that would take me the whole day if I need it.
Correct. And I think it's easier on your stomach. You don't feel so heavy. You don't feel like you're putting stuff in bread and meat, and this is so much easier to process. Yeah. And I'm sure with your juicer, right, you can probably juice a little bit more and then put it into your fridge, and then just have the juice for a day or two, right? It doesn't have to.
Yeah, I only do 2 days. Sometimes that's right. Sometimes it's nice. The juice takes more time, so nice to make a juice, drink it that day, and have the juice for the second day.
Right.
You know?
Yes. Right. And I think, I mean, it tastes fabulous. Of course, I love the taste of it, but the nutritional value, could you see how that's for all of us, that's so fabulous?
Oh yeah, it makes you feel great. To me, it makes you feel
exactly.
great. Here's my container. You need one of those thermoses that's keeps cold for 24 hours.
So it
stays refrigerated. So then you got the smoothie in that all day. It's cold every time you take it. You know.
Right. Yes. Because lots of time, if you just leave it at the studio, it will get warm, and then it does not always. I liked it much more when it's cold, right? So I usually like to put some ice cubes in there to keep it really chill.
No. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. No.
What I love about doing stuff like this, it's a very good boosting your immune system, right? So it tastes really good, but in a long run, you're actually making sure, just like Mark said, you're getting all this nutrition. You're actually making sure the immune system, it's pretty high level. So in today's world, when we're all worried about the virus and anything else that could be out there, right? To keep on putting all these great stuff into your system, it's fabulous, right? So one of the things that I would like to share very quickly, because I don't do such the elaborate stuff. My mom is the cook of the family, right? And I'm so fortunate to be just 5 minutes away from my mom. So my mom actually, and we have access of lemons. Like I think I've shared 1 or 2 videos of how I'm making
lemon trees. You got lemon trees in the backyard.
Oh God, yes. And they're huge. My lemons.
They're beautiful.
Yes, that's a very common thing in California. You either have a lemon tree or you have an orange tree, right? So we have tons of those things. And of course, you feel terrible wasting. So we always try to do something that can last so much longer, not just the time that it's right. So what we're actually doing, we're doing lemon, ginger, and honey. Slice.
Oh, yeah.
Right, slicing the lemon, right? So actually, we make little jars like this, right? And what we do, we put the honey on the bottom, few slices of lemon, a little bit of ginger, honey, slices of lemon, ginger, and you actually shred the ginger, right? And so when you can put as many lemons as you would like here, just sliced ginger, 1 teaspoon of shredded ginger for like a little container like this, right? And then if you feel like you don't have enough juice and you have more lemons, you can squeeze the lemon juice. And then, so what it is that you do, you take 1 teaspoon of this little remedy that we do, and you put water into it. So in the morning, you can start your day with just like a lemon, ginger, honey, water, right? So that again gives you, like, it boosts your immune system. Or throughout the day, what I've noticed, what I'm doing, because now we're all stuck around the house, so we end up overeating, right? I mean, we all do, because there is nothing else to do, right? You are either on the computer, you're talking to people, so we're so used to when you talk, you have something to snack. So I end up drinking a lot, and I've noticed coffee, you reach for coffee. I'm like, I don't need that much coffee. So what I end up doing, alternating between, I have some coffee in the morning, I do my tea, and then when I feel hungry, I will just put some water and just have a drink, right? And then, yeah, and then it almost tastes like a lemon water, right? And it's nice and soothing for your throat. So you feel really good, really nice, and good things are going to your system. So your immune system is good. It's good for your hair. It could detox your body. I mean, there's so many great benefits, right? And I love this time that we're at home, that it seems all of us are like Martha Stewarts all of a sudden. Everybody does. You've been doing your juices and smoothies for a long time, but a lot of my friends are starting to do these things right now because we have more time. And of course, we're much more aware that we don't want to gain weight, right? We do.
Yeah, we've never had time like this.
Right, absolutely. So tell me, because you're in a fabulous shape, besides your smoothies, besides eating well, what it is that you do to stay as fit as you are.
Oh man, seriously?
I mean, come on, that's it. Give us something. Like, what's your little thing that you...
Well, I alternate between stretching, trying to stretch, and then we've got Giuseppe, and sometimes also Mouse. And so I'm walking 2 hours in a day.
Awesome.
And then I think I told you, but I bought these electric bikes.
Yes.
And so before everybody starts to scoff about, electric bike, give me a break. I actually feel like you get more of a workout with the electric bike, because of course you still have to pedal and you put it in the setting that you want. But the hills aren't such a disaster. And I think if you think about it, when you ride your bike, the hills are the spoiler, right? You only want to go so much, or you have to be really in the mood to work out, because you've got these hills you got to really work for, right?
Right.
So the electric bike to me is like going to the gym and putting the setting that what you want to put it on. So I don't think just because you ride a stationary bike, you put it on 0, right? So maybe if I put it on 4 or 5, I want sort of a moderate workout. It's like doing that, only going outside and going somewhere. So It's been great. The electric bike has been great.
That's fabulous, because I think lots of time people think, oh, electric, that's cheating. But just kind of like you said, you can put it on a setup that you're still working out, you're still getting...
And in the end, you go for much longer time, and it's much more enjoyable. Because the only thing to think about on a bike, downhill is fine, the flat is fine, and the little hill is fine, but it's just those big hills are the spoiler. So it's basically taking those big hills out of the equation. So I've been loving that.
Yes. So
one thing I've been having trouble with is that, I like going to the gym, but somehow since quarantine, I've only got 20-pound weights, and I've tried to work out, haven't been able to work out. So I started a new thing, speaking of how obsessive we are, and I try to take one exercise and see how many of those I can do in a day, especially if it's a rainy day and I'm not able to do the walk and the bike ride.
Yeah, I
So,
love when you share that.
what?
You got yourself motivated. That was awesome. I was going to ask
Yeah,
you, can you share that with us? Because we do lose the motivation.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I have a little chin-up bar that I have that hangs between the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do pull-ups one day,
Yes.
and I'll do push-ups another day.
Mm-hmm.
That's most of those are the two big ones. Sometimes I'll do the curls, but anyway, the other day I really got motivated. I went to how many push-ups can I do in one day?
Right.
So I'm challenging everyone out there. I did 500 push-ups in one day.
Wow. Oh, that's good.
And that was in
Talking
sets of
about being
like,
obsessed. Yeah.
yeah, I can only do like 30. I think the most I did in one shot was 30.
Right.
But I did 30 and 30 and 25 and 20 and 30 and 15 and 25 and 20. And then I kept going. I tried to do that for the whole day. Like every half an hour, 45 minutes, raining outside, nothing to do. And in between, you know, I am doing some work. I am doing some work while I'm here. So, you know, I'm working on my website. I think I showed you that, right?
Yes. Yes. Your website looks awesome.
The
Very
new
nice.
website, that NoceraProductions.com, throw a little plug. And of course, working on the comp and all that stuff. But in between, okay, it's been half an hour down on the mat.
Yes.
Tried some more push-ups. So anyway, somehow I did 500. The other day I tried it again and I only made it to 250. So I must have been, maybe I had some extra juice that day or something. I don't know what. But
Right.
I was really motivated.
But
So,
that's fabulous. I think that's a great way of motivating yourself, because that's the thing I think with this quarantine, we have all these ideas, but then we get a little bit lazy, right? And there's no one holding us accountable for stuff like this. So it's easy not to do stuff, and to coming up with another way of how can I make sure that I'm excited about it? How can I challenge myself? And especially for our friends and colleagues who are competitors, either competing right now or used to compete, we have this competitive edge to it, right? We like challenging other people, we like challenging ourselves. So I think that's so clever that you've actually come up with this for yourself.
well, I always found that you know what, there's these, they used to say with eating, the best diet is to eat 6 times a day, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to find what works for you. When I did that, I gained so much weight because I can't control how much I'm eating. When I'm eating, I want to eat. I'm much better if I have 2 meals a day and have the juices and things in between. That's how so that works for me. So for me, I realized that somehow I'm not motivated to do sort of the workout, but anyway, I come up with this idea, and it seems like that's something that's going to motivate me, you know? And I feel like we have so much time now where we're not able to get out. I feel like you've got to try, I'm playing some chess. I wouldn't say I'm improving in chess, but I'm decent in chess, so I'm enjoying that. And I also, I'm trying to learn Italian. I did study Italian before, and
That's
I was
great.
sort of getting where it was kind of broken, but I could get by, and I lost a lot of it. So I just feel like in this time off, like Yelena with her testing, I think you don't want to look back and say, wow, I had 3 or 4 months to do nothing, and I come out of it. I want to feel like I come out of that with at least having gained something, you know,
Totally.
whether it's to be in shape or to learn language or to study for your test or whatever that is, you know. I feel like you gotta, you know, play piano. You gotta learn something, right? Get something out of this time.
Totally. Because otherwise, I think we get disappointed. Otherwise, I think we feel like it's a waste of time, right? And
yeah, I don't want to look back and think, oh, I had all that time. I should have done this. I mean,
yes,
sometimes that happens because you don't know how much time you'll have. But in this case, we're pretty sure we've got some time ahead of us still before this is over. So
right.
It's not too late to sort of get motivated to get yourself occupied with something, and maybe that'll make you forget about how bored you are. Get yourself active.
That's it. Because I think one part is nice for people like us who always go, right? To kind of enjoy the time. Like I've actually end up going outside quite a bit, hiking and doing bicycling. And I've learned for myself that I really enjoy that, right? So part of it, I actually teach myself to not to be always so busy, but on the other hand, I like that balance, because if you have that personality of liking to do things, and I feel a lot of our friends and colleagues are that way, it's very nice to go, okay, what is the thing that I wanted to do? Or even if you never thought about it before, like
sure.
Fun to do, right? Give it a try and see what's going to happen. So you feel like you're still enjoying it, right? And you are moving, you are educating yourself, or you're improving some kind of skill.
Some kind of self-improvement, right? Some kind of self-improvement.
Yeah. So
right. Why not? Why not? Why not?
That's it. Because we've been giving the time to do stuff, right? Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Italian, I was disappointed that I learned, sort of was really, I did that Rosetta Stone. I did the entire course, 5 levels, and then went to Italy and actually spoke, got by. I could get by. I'm sure it was horribly broken, but they understood what I wanted. So that was the point, right?
That's great.
And then it's been about, I don't know, now like 4 years since I've really done any of that. So I lost, almost all of it. So, but as I'm studying it, I realized, oh yeah, it's coming back, of course, much faster,
Oh, totally. Because you've already studied this before, right?
Yeah. So that's something I already have it. I can go back and try and relearn it, right?
I know, because I always tease you. You're like the one Italian who doesn't speak Italian.
I'm not the one Italian who doesn't speak Italian.
No, I know.
So all you have to do is go to Rhode Island.
But you are the one Italian that I know.
And we even have the mannerisms, right? We're like, come on, what are you talking about? What is that? And then, but it's like from Italian, but we learned that from our elders, right?
Right.
Well, we don't speak Italian, So in fact, that's why I went, because I went to the tailor and I told him. I said, I need these pants to be fixed. And what's your name? Nocera. Your name's not Nocera. Your name's Nocera. What's the matter with you? And I told him, well, my father never taught me Italian. Don't blame it on your father. You want to learn Italian, you do it yourself. Yes. And it's funny. It took me about 2 weeks to absorb that. And at one point I was like, you know what? He's right. I should go learn Italian.
True.
So that's what set me off on that. That guy, the Italian guy, Taylor, yelling at me for calling myself Nocera.
Right. But I think what's so true that years back, our parents would make sure that we do not speak our native language, because it was not looked upon as that was a good thing to do. You were just an immigrant.
Correct.
Right? Even
Correct. In those days, they
right?
wanted us to assimilate as quickly as possible and become, we were American. We weren't Italian, we were American.
And now we're going back to, let's be proud of where we come from. Let's, look at our heritage, be bilingual or having 3 languages.
Which is nothing wrong with that. I think it's just the balance, right?
Oh, exactly. That's a thing. Right. I think it's a balance. And if you're interested in your country where you come from, I think that's great. Like, you don't have to necessarily go from one extreme to the other, but it's good to know the language of the country and the history, or
it's your heritage. It's your heritage, of course.
Absolutely, right? Because this is where we come from. Now, if you only, I know some people, even some of my Polish friends, that don't speak any English, living in America for 30 years. I'm like, that's crazy. No, you need to respect and appreciate the country that you live in, but you don't have to forget where you come from. It's a nice balance. Oh, totally.
Both. Right. Absolutely a balance. And I'll tell you something funny. That when I did the Rosetta Stone, and of course they don't have an accent, they speak perfect Italian. And I had a woman come in and take lessons, and then I asked her if she wanted to do a trade. I'd give her some dance lessons, she'd give me some Italian lessons, know? And then she told me, it's the strangest thing, She said, I'm hearing the Rosetta Stone, how they speak, and I hear how you repeat it. And she said, I repeated it with a Southern accent. And we surmised that my grandfather came from Naples, that's Southern Italy. Wow. And I heard so much Italian when I was a kid that it seems like I copied the way I heard it so many times before, instead of copying the way the Rosetta Stone is saying it now. And she just thought that was just unbelievable. She said, when you speak, it sounds like you're from Southern Italy, even though you don't know the words,
Wow, that's incredible, huh? But that's what I've noticed being an immigrant myself. We learn almost says we're like parrots. We copy the sound, not just the word, but we copy, just like you said, how people pronounce things, how people say certain things. So depending on who you are around, we will end up having that influence on how we speak. Totally.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. It's been so awesome talking to you, as always.
This is a great conversation. Thanks for inviting me, Kasia. I really enjoyed it.
Totally. I'm so glad we have the technology to do this, because otherwise we would be stuck in our own separate states, way far away from one another. So now we have to bust a quick move, because I don't let anyone say goodbye without being happy. So you have a choice. I feel happy or I'm so excited. Oh,
Here's some flowers for you, Kasia.
oh, thank you.
So here, okay, reach out.
Okay, I reach out, I take it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love
Perfect.
All right. So maybe I feel happy.
So we need some kind of boogie?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Let's
Woo! Is that all you needed from me?
Oh no, Duke, that's it. Thank you, Mark. You are awesome. I so
Bye,
appreciate
Kasia.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for the invite.